I gave you one job. Go ahead and say it. Say it. You warned me about Bushmaster.
He should move away from the window,
is
is what I'm thinking.
I sold my Harlem.
What's done is done. It's time now to take care of our enemies. Do you hear me?
Good. Good.
What do you want to do?
Wait till we get Piranha back.
And then?
Mm-hmm.
These two.
That's all. No one else knows?
Nobody else. Why?
I'm just wondering.
Listen, these two are nutty as hell together. I want them to be together.
Let's do don't.
Oh.
I can't accept that.
I'm done. I will turn in my paperwork tomorrow. I'm sorry, Captain. I really am.
Oh boy. Was not expecting that. You'll listen to Piranha, but not Claire. He is funnier than Claire.
He needs a place to hide. Friends call me Piranha. It's an honor to meet the Reverend behind the big man. So tell me, how was he as a kid? Was he always this strong?
Mr. Jones, if you wouldn't mind, could you just give us a moment?
Oh yeah. There he is.
Does this have anything to do with all that craziness last night at that party? Or with the heads on pikes?
Look, I'll tell you everything when I get back.
You find him?
No, they haven't. And they won't. I've got something you want. Piranha Jones.
What you want in return, huh?
A good old-fashioned showdown. You and me. Today.
No weapons. No sneak attacks. A fair fight.
If you win, you get Piranha. If I win, you leave him and Harlem alone.
Wow.
Cage! John MacGyver.
Heroes.
Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Oh. Ow. How is he so strong? Yeah.
You're done.
Oh no. What the hell? What the?
Under different circumstances, you could have been better.
Sun is shining.
Oh, it's such a cheat. It's cheating.
Make you
I-
wanna move.
Oh my god.
Go to the rest. No.
Hey, you guys. I just finished watching Luke Cage Season 2, Episode 6 and 7. But I'm going to try to keep these comments separate. It's going to be kind of hard, given that I know what happens to people in the 7th episode. Anyway, all right, but I'm gonna focus on episode 6 because yeah, Luke and Piranha together was comedy gold. How can it not be? It was as funny as I thought it would be. But I actually like that there was more to it than that. I mean, believe me, I could have stayed with comedy the whole time. I could actually watch a whole show with Piranha being Luke's side gig. Because okay, I'm bringing it back. But I liked that there was more to it than the humor, that, we started to actually get to know Piranha a little bit, talking about his father and his background and sort of contrasting that with Luke and his relationship with his father. I like that they wove that story in because it helped us get to know Piranha a little bit better, and it sort of, rebooted that Luke and his father storyline that kind of disappeared for a little while. So I really like that circled back, and I'm glad that issue is back on the table because it seemed so important before, and then it kind of disappeared, but now it's back. So cool. Mariah, obviously not having the best day after a not good night after the opening of her community center. Man, that's rough. And we find out that she and the captain were a thing back in the day. Who knew? That was really interesting. Didn't see that information coming. Yeah, I know exactly where it's going to go, having seen the next episode. Misty leaving the Force, that was another one. I guess in retrospect, maybe I saw it, but I wasn't thinking about it, so it seemed like a big surprise. But I'm glad, because she's actually been just rattling around there, like a stone in a shoe for however many episodes, 5 episodes now. So it's going to be exciting to see her break loose and keep using her awesome arm. And just see what life is like for Misty without the confines of the Force. But I think that her moral code will still be a good one. I think she was very tempted to do the wrong thing in order to achieve a good goal. But, she stopped herself. Maybe she wouldn't have stopped herself if Headless Cockroach hadn't been in the apartment. I don't know. But I'd like to think so. And I think that even without working within the confines of the law, that she's an inherently good person. I'm really excited to see where her story goes as well. Another interesting bit of backstory, there's a lot of family history in this episode, was the conversation between, it's funny, I don't want to call him Bushmaster, and talking about his personal life, and John McIver, talking about his background, with his, I believe it was his uncle, right? That was a really interesting conversation, that his family actually disapproves of his actions, his violent actions, because it reflects poorly on the community at large. But it was pretty funny just after he talked about eye for an eye, making the whole world blind, which is a great line. And then I think just previously he had said, well, then just kill Mariah. Well, that's an eye for an eye. Did you say that was bad? But it's an interesting condemnation of Bushmaster's actions by his own community and his own family, essentially. So it's interesting to see where that goes too. This episode to me was really great with character building and bringing a lot of history, and I just think it's setting the stage for other things to come. I say this knowing what happens in the next episode, and there's some really good payoffs and some really sad payoffs. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it to episode 6. I never watched them back to back. Sorry. And just finally, I loved the fight at the end. Loved it. I loved that it was out in the light, and it was in the daytime, and it was clear, out in the open. So many of the scenes on the show are filmed in low light, indoors or at night. A lot of the fight scenes have multiple people. I mean, that's all good and everything. But that just, I liked how clean and clear this was. I could really see it, and I could really get into it. Whoever developed, choreographed Bushmaster's fighting style, it's awesome. It's really like swoopy and fluid. And when I was watching it, if you've watched Game of Thrones, I was kind of thinking it reminded me a little bit of the fight between Oberyn and the Mountain. A little bit. Just in the difference of styles, because you have Bushmaster just swooping around, and you have Luke being Luke, just the wall, the rock, Oh, and then he cheated. I mean, cheated. I don't know rules of a fight, but it seems pretty sneaky to me to be holding some powder in your hand that does God knows what, froze him up. I mean, that's not really fair, is it? That's not a fair fight. I don't think so. But yeah, that was really impressive. And on that note, I was really glad to have been able to watch the episodes back to back, because I would have been very tempted to do so otherwise, not wanting to wait a week. Thanks for watching this reaction. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and give me a like. If you have any thoughts about the episode, go ahead and leave them down below, and join me for my episode 7 reaction and my thoughts about it. Oh, okay. Thanks, you guys. Bye. I told you we were going to talk about it. Foggy. Froggy. Well, the first time I heard someone refer to him, I thought they said Froggy. Okay, hell kind of nickname is that? And then I realized it was Foggy. Occasionally, I just refer to him as Froggy. There's no excuse. It just is. Sorry.